Good evening. I am Inez, your audacious living and confidence coach and health coach. And I am just absolutely thrilled to be with you this evening. The title of my show is Aha Moments That Last. And I will talk about how I came up with that. The episode tonight is how to be mindful and discerning in aha moments. So as I go through the show tonight and talk about the aha moments, I ask you to think about some of the things that I say and some of the things that have happened in your life. And as you're thinking about those things that happened in your life and you went, oh, aha, that was an aha moment. Many times we overlook them because they might be like that, fleeting. And then there are other times where they come in so easily that we don't realize they're there until they resonate with us at a deep, deep level. And as these moments begin to resonate with us, one of the things that we get to know is yes, yes, yes. Because the aha moments are those moments that sometimes it gives us an immediate change. And many times it gives us the opportunity to reflect on it and then realize, well, that was an aha moment. So what is an aha moment? An aha moment is a sudden realization, recognition, knowing that there has been an internal shift in you, a shift that caused you to really rethink many of the thoughts that you had previously had. And as you begin to rethink those thoughts and examine them, oftentimes we let those thoughts go because they no longer support who we are being at this time. We have thoughts from childhood all the way up. And every thought that's ever been put out there is still swirling around in the universe. It's much like energy, because energy never is destroyed. It just changes form. So as energy changes form, thoughts also change form sometimes. And as thoughts are changing forms, guess what? Many times we think we thought it, but it's been there for thousands of years. And it chose us to land on or in. And because the thought landing in us, it gives us an opportunity to be real discerning about it. So how to be mindful and discerning in aha moments is extremely, very important. Because when we are mindful and discerning, we get to know that the aha moment is there for us to embrace or not embrace. That's where discernment comes in. Is it something that we want to hold dear to our heart and keep it there? Or is it something that we just, okay, that came and now we can let it go? But those moments that come, that you feel an internal shift, it's almost like something just happened and you have an internal shift that changes you. Now that is really an internal shift that when it changes you, you know for sure, wow, this is amazing. And because it is so amazing, it changes everything that you thought that you knew, or much of what you thought that you knew, that no longer supports you. One of the things that growing up, when I grew up, it was just becoming very important to almost everyone that there should be 2 cars in every garage, and you should have the big house and all this other stuff. And people, they started buying into that. Once you started buying into it, now you're just going, running, ripping, doing all that you can to keep up that 2 cars in every garage in this big house. So instead of mom staying home now, mom is going out to work, dad is going out to work. So the children became latchkey kids. That's how latchkey kids got started. And once that happened, it was just the real interest around keeping up with the Joneses was one thing, and making sure that you always put on a great face. And then as time continued, you started looking back over your life and you thought, wow, wait a minute. That's really not who I am. That's not who I be. And since it's not who I be, I get to change that. Now that is an aha moment that lasts. Because something triggered, it's okay to be me authentically, being my real self all the time. And as we begin to be our real self all the time, much of the pretense that we have been doing starts to melt away because it's no longer valid. And because it melts away, now it's not even a part of you, which is an awesome space in which to dwell. And as you are dwelling in that place, it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. That is an aha moment that you can just hold dear to your heart. It's an aha moment that shifts you so internally that you connect with it at such a cellular level that you know, this is my moment. That's really what it's all about. And as you begin to connect with more and more aha moments that last, that make a difference in your life, people will also start to notice. And when people start to notice, they go, there's something different about you. And you just smile. And that's all you have to do is smile. Because one of the things that you get to do, and I'm going to talk about that tonight as well, is choose your beingness every single day. And as you're choosing your beingness every single day, it begins the moment you wake up. And as you begin to choose that beingness every single day, I'm going to give you some tips. And if you want to write them down, it's perfectly fine with me because it's something that you might want to look back on. So as you are choosing your beingness every day, the first thing you do when you wake up is to get in thankfulness and gratitude. Do you know that while you were sleeping, just oblivious to everything, your body was working? It was working, your heart was working, all your organ cells, systems were working so that you slept well. And as you were sleeping well and soundly, getting that restful, rejuvenating, invigorating sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you're invigorated, you're rejuvenated, and you're feeling good about yourself. So before you get out of bed, you get into gratitude for that. And that can be an aha moment. Because most of the time, we don't even think about any of that. We just go to bed, go to sleep, get up in the morning and go. What if you would make that one small change that when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm going to do is get in deepest gratitude. Because as I get into deepest gratitude, my whole body gets rejuvenated. My whole body decides that, yes, not sluggish today, because there's something about gratitude that brings just unadulterated joy and bliss. When you get into real deep gratitude, you can't help but be blissful. And that's another part of your morning. So before you get out of bed, you start to imagining what you're going to do next. When you get up, this is what I'm going to do. And as you start moving around and getting up, the next thing that you're going to do. And as you plan your day, segmenting it out with intention, you will be amazed at what happens. More and more aha moments will be recognized because now you're being intentional. There's something about being intentional that brings you the desires of your heart. Because when you are intentional, you only focus on those things that matter to you. You say, oh, Inez, that's being selfish. Well, okay, you can call it what you will, but it's taking care of you, because if we don't take care of ourselves first, then we are being really dishonoring our body, dishonoring ourselves. So we get to take care of ourselves first, and then we can give everything to anybody. The thing is taking care of ourselves. And that's a big aha moment for a lot of people. Because so many people have been trying to please others. It is not required, it's not ever required for you or I to just be pleasing others without first taking care of ourselves. And once we take care of ourselves, giving to others and pleasing others becomes our joy, because we are completely filled up with love for ourselves. And a big part of loving ourselves is to know that we matter. Knowing that we matter, know that we deserve the best of whatever it is we desire, really gives us the opportunity to reflect on the aha moments when we did that. When we knew that we deserved it, we got it. Because everything that we ask for is given. Once it is given, we get to allow it to receive it. Now, just because we ask and it is given, if we say, oh, well, but, it's like, you don't want it yet. goes back. So your rockets of desire are there. When you have the aha moment that when I ask, it is given, I just have to be mindful and discerning so I can allow it to come in. Imagine the difference it's going to make in your life. That difference is huge, I can tell you that. Because it gets to the place where we only see those things that we desire. All the other stuff just stays away from us. And that in itself gives us the opportunity to really please ourselves and to take care of ourselves. That is a major thing, taking care of ourselves. And as I talk about taking care of ourselves, what I'm saying is to feed yourself nutritiously, to drink lots and lots of water, stay hydrated, to be blissful. If you find that something is not going your way or it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, you can look at it like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old. Your toddlers, I just love them. They will pick up something, they turn it this way, they turn it that way. They look at every facet of it as they're getting to know whatever this object is they picked up. So the object that you have will be in your mind most likely. And as you are imagining holding it in your hand, and as you hold it in your hand, you're turning it every way that you can, and you still haven't gotten an aha moment on it. So one of the questions that you might want to write down that you ask yourself, what else is possible? What else is possible? And as you ask yourself, what else is possible, possibilities start coming. So you have this, they come like popcorn, boom, boom, boom. Now you have a whole vast array of things from which to choose. So how do you choose? You look at all of this stuff that's laid out for you, and you begin to choose by going back into your inside, inner self, and allowing your inner being to help you choose. And as your inner being, the source, your creator, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, starts to help you in this moment, this aha moment, to choose the desires of your heart. Imagine that. Now, you can move it from imagining to being by giving yourself permission to do it. So many times something like you might hear something that sounds so new and that's so new agey or whatever you want to call it, that I'm not going to do it. Well, that's okay if you don't want to do it. It's perfectly fine. But I can tell you this, you might decide, what else is possible? So I'm going to put my little toe in the water, going to see what happens. What is this mindfulness thing? What is this aha moment that Inez is talking about? What is this discerning that Inez is talking about? We all have it. We all have it. It's just, do we use it? Many times we don't because we don't realize it's available to us. So when you say what else is possible, the possibilities start coming. And they also come in such a quick fashion that is very important to use discernment. Discernment is looking at things at the way that they show up and being able to decide what supports you in being you in this moment. Because all we have is this moment. Anything I said before now was moments before. So all we have is this moment. So since all we have is this moment, we go from moment to moment to moment, even though we like to think years out or years past, all that's already done. We get to be here now. When you find yourself feeling kind of so out of sorts, one of the things that you can say is be here now. Let me repeat that. Be here now. Because when you are here now, this is all we have. And we are here now and now and now and now, all the nows throughout the 24-hour day. It gives us the opportunity to really enjoy life. Many times when we are going through a day and something happens, it triggers something that happened before years ago, and then we get all out of sorts. No. As long as you drag that into today, you're going to get the same energy from it. That means that you get to clear that energy out, plus the new energies that came. How about this? Okay, this happened. Let me just look at it and see what my jewel is in it, because there is a jewel in it. And therein lies your aha moment. Aha moments come all the time. They are so numerous. and being mindful and knowing. Let me talk a little bit about that. There is believing and there is knowing. We believe many of the things that we were taught until such time as we grow into an adult and we realize, aha moment, that is really not true. That is not something that we want to hold on to. And we let it go. It could be something that any elder, anybody older than you said, and you started to own it. And when you started to own it, it became yours. Now that you realize that didn't even come from me, it came from Aunt Jane or somebody, I can let that go. That's an aha moment, because now you're becoming yourself. And we are always becoming. There will always be something where we are becoming. And the more that we are becoming, we continue to grow. So what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? That could be your refrain throughout the day. And it just gets better and better. It keeps getting better and better. And your ahas, you might want to get a journal, or since you're going to have them all day, just a little book. So when these aha come, so that you can remind yourself that that was an aha moment, just write it down. And people are going to say, well, every time I see you, you have your book out. You're like, yeah, I'm just writing myself a reminder. Because many people, if you tell them I'm writing down an aha moment, they want you to go into all of that with them. And it's not about them. It's all about you and who you're being in that moment. So you get to keep it there, or you can share it if you desire. But it's really all about you. Aha moments and discernment and mindfulness are very important. Many times we are carrying with us baggage from other folk that we don't even know we're carrying. Growing up, we were not allowed to be in grown folks' conversations, even though whenever we got a chance, we would eavesdrop and we'd hear things and we'd own them. And for me, I was really, really eager to find out, was that true? And as I got older and discovered that it was a belief, but it wasn't mine, so I let it go. And then I got into knowing. Knowing lets me know that I am on center. I am being myself. I am authentically me. I'm being my real self all the time, because I know who I be. And I intentionally say I be, because being is all of the energy, all of everything that makes you you. When I say who I am or who you are, those are the roles that we play. Mother, lover, auntie, sister, all of those roles, employee, business owner, whatever that is, those are roles. And our beingness takes on those roles whenever it is required. And that's when you know that you know that you know yourself. Because as you are taking on the roles, you're still being, you're being authentically you, and you're not having to please anybody other than yourself. Because when you please yourself, ultimately, it lends others to do the same. When we are doing that, we are having aha moments. Discernment and mindfulness is key, totally key, if you want to hold on to them. Now, some of them will rock your world so that you couldn't get rid of them if you wanted to. Then there will be others that are just so sliding in so easy. It's like, okay, Inez, I get it. I get it, yeah. This is great. So when we're talking about aha moments, we get to trust. We get to trust ourselves. We get to trust in our God, the Creator, the Most High, whatever you want to call it. Because as we are trusting ourselves, we can trust that the aha moment that came to us was for us, and we can discern the same. As we are being discerning and trusting, which is a huge, huge word, and it's an issue for many, many people. Because if you don't trust yourself, who can you trust? Think about that for a second. Trusting is paramount. And as we are trusting ourselves, we get to know that we're okay. And these aha moments just keep coming and coming and coming. As we are getting these aha moments, it makes a difference in our lives. You will be able to trace and go back in your mind what happened whenever it did happen and the result that put you where you are now. And that's powerful because we really want to stay in touch with ourselves, with the source, and take full responsibility. That's another big one, taking full responsibility for it all. Because if we don't take responsibility for it, why are we doing it? So whatever it is, when we take full responsibility for our decisions based on the aha moment or not, we take responsibility for our actions, for our thoughts and our behaviors. We also take responsibility for if it went well, oh man, we are so excited, we can't wait to tell everybody. It's almost like making a broadcast. If it didn't go well, we want to hide and squeeze. No, be prepared for whatever the consequences are. Some things won't go exactly as you wanted them to go, but it doesn't mean that it was wrong or that you should not have done it. You would not have known had you not done it. So the aha moments lead you to places probably that you would not have gone. Because aha moments shifts you from the inside out. And as you're being shifted from the inside out, it makes a huge difference because now you know and you own your being. Knowing and owning your being is key. Let's say that again. Knowing and owning your being is key. Because that way you can stay on your square. You can stand firmly on whatever it is, knowing. Believing you can get kind of shifty because, well, that's a belief, and beliefs change over time. As we grow and as we learn and we study and we get to know ourselves even more intimately. And that's also a big part of the aha moments. Knowing yourself so intimately, you know when it comes. When you know that you know that you know, you become unshakable. And being unshakable in your knowing, in your faith in yourself, in your love for yourself and your fellow man, makes all the difference. Fellow men, fellow women, fellow children, it makes all the difference. And it feels so good. It feels good. So every day you get to create a celebration for yourself. You create a celebration because you got up, you did your segment intending, you went through your day, and you celebrate the fact that, yeah, I did it. What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? And every time you ask those questions, possibilities and better than this keeps coming. And those come in aha moments as well. Unless we are open to asking questions and getting the answers, some of the answers we want to throw away because it did come the way we thought we wanted it to come. It pays us, though, if we decide to sit with it for a while. And solitude is very important when you are going through these aha moments. Solitude allows you to be by yourself, with yourself, only you. And do you know, some people cannot be by themselves. They must be around others. They rip and run all the time. They keep their calendar so jam-packed that they're never alone. They're here, they're there. And if this is you, you might want to rethink some things. When it's important to you that you're never alone, why are you running from yourself? Because you know, once you get in solitude, you're going to have to deal with you. And when you start dealing with you and handling you and getting back to loving you so completely over the top, now you can breathe. Because when you're ripping and running all the time, because you don't want to be alone, now that is when you find that things seem out of kilter. They just seem out of whack. If you are afraid of what might happen if you get in solitude, you might want to get some help with that, because solitude is very important for all of us. Even when you have a family and the children are here and everybody's in the house, you might want to set up a plan that says, Mommy's going to go into this room for 10 minutes. And while Mommy's in the room, you all get to do a meditation individually, so that when Mommy comes out, she is a better person for this family. Or Daddy needs to go in the room. Sometimes children will tell you, I just need a break. And that's okay, because solitude is very important. And in your solitude, breathing deeply, letting the messages or the thoughts come and go is perfectly okay. And as you let this come and go, it doesn't matter. It just matters that you let it go. If you want to hold on to it, that's okay too. It's just being in the energy of allowing yourself to reconnect with that young person that was so excited about life and created all these playful friends and had all this going on. And over time, we forgot. That person is still there. That your little girl is still waiting for you to come take her hand and say, let's do this. And when you do that, it makes all the difference. It can bring you to the space that you have been desiring all the time, but you didn't realize you were desiring it because you were too busy running around doing everything else. And once you decide that I am enough, that I matter, that I am worthy, that I am deserving, that I am loved, when you make those decisions and know that those decisions are real for you, you're going to be really surprised at how your life begins to change. And as your life is changing, you get your strut back, your shoulders are backing down, you got your swag going on, you're smiling, and people are going to want some of that. They want to know who you are now. Who are you being? What happened? And you just tell them, I just decided to be me. That's all, just me. And I am enough. Those are very powerful words. I am enough. I'm going to say that one more time. I am enough. And as you're saying that to yourself and out loud, I want you to notice the feeling that comes up with that, because this is an aha moment. Notice the feeling that comes. Some of you are going to say, I am enough, and you're going to feel so bad because you're not going to believe it. So this is when you get to do this every day in the mirror. I am enough. Until when you say it, you know it's your truth, because it is your truth, except you have been ignoring it. It's almost like putting sand over it all these years and not allowing yourself to be enough. But once you own that, things begin to change in a mighty way for you. And as things begin to change, you are changing those things. It's you that changes and the things change. And that is an amazing space in which to dwell. So this episode of Aha Moments is just so amazing. And you get to decide what they'll be, or when you recognize them when they come. That's the main thing, to recognize them when they come. So now what we're going to do,